Danni and N-Put cruising through the airwaves. Transformers knowledge blast that never caves. Reviews so sharp they'll cut through steel. In the podcast world, they're the real deal. Jumping in the deep end, swimming with the best. Danni's got the info and she never needs to rest. N-Put's got the passion like a roaring jet. Together they make a mark you won't forget. Dynamic duo, never gonna quit. Taking over airwaves, super lit. Transformers podcast bringing the heat. Every single episode can't be beat.
Well, welcome back to the State of the Transformers Fandom. This podcast is back, y'all. Prices, scalpers, influencers. We're here to talk about it all. And I'm with Mr. N-Put.
That was a little bit of a rough opening, but as Danny Double D said, it's me. It's that N-Put. And this is where I usually tell you who I'm mobbing with, but I just said Danny Double D. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. And as she said, we are talking the Transformers fandom, price hikes. We're talking scalpers. We're talking influencers. And basically anybody and everybody that just wants to run down the fandom and take advantage of us. See, I fucked it up too. It's not as easy as it sounds.
No, just gonna take a break, but we're back. So
yeah.
Yay. We tried to something else, didn't work, and now we're back. So
yeah. So I don't know. How do you want to take the shovel out of the case and start digging into this? How you want to do that?
The first one for sure, I guess, because like it hasn't hit Canada yet, but the price hikes for you guys for the Hasbro stuff, like especially, is like it's pretty crazy. Like I said, the one whatever here and there, the couple bucks, but $8 for a Voyager, like I did with my new other show, Cybercast. I had TF Addict on there, and you know he's like pretty like he loves the Hasbro stuff, huge collector of that. And yeah, he was outraged. You saw him swearing over the prices, and yeah, he's a super fan. So I mean, that tells a lot there, right?
Yeah, I think when you get under the skin of him, you messed up. You messed up real good.
Yeah, I know. I was shocked. I was surprised. So, and that's like a truthful, from him, right? Like that was an honest opinion, honest take. So
yeah, and I'll say, the outlandishness, people will all day long defend, well, it's only $1. Oh, it's only $2 or $3 or whatever. And what they fail to realize is when you say that, you're not taking into account it's only been $1 or $2 or $3 for the last like 2 or 3 times a year for the last 5 years, right? Mm-hmm. It's not just, $3 in 2025. It's been $3 every year since 2020. But the brazenness of them to be like, okay, our deluxes are going up to like $27.99. Our Voyagers are going to go up to like, $70 or whatever it is. Yeah, almost a $10 increase.
And yeah, you guys are close to our prices, but like now it's like, your dollar's worth a lot more. So you guys are like paying more than us now. It's crazy. Like, it's like, I'm just in shock. Like, if they put prices up here like that, yeah, a lot of people will be done. They're already done. So, I mean, it's just, yeah, what are you going to do, right?
Well, and you can see it too. Like there's no, and they're doing it across the board. Chris Cox, their CEO, said that, price hikes are coming for all of their quote unquote like collectibles or whatever. Yeah. And
yeah, they're
and they've taken like these box sets, like these 2-packs, and now they're like for like their Marvel 2-packs are like $64, when just last year they were like $55. Mm-hmm. In the case of Transformers Voyagers, their $8 increase, and just, but you're not seeing the value there, and that's the biggest problem. They're not adding in accessories. They're not adding in
I don't mind paying a bit more, a couple bucks. Like, I understand over 10 years, like years and years, like it could go up a little and this and that. But if they added like more stuff, and the marketing is so bad, like even TF Addict said, it's on everyone's brain too. Like the Megatron in that box, it looked fake when the pictures came out because there's this huge gap, right? It's like, dude, like that just makes it look worse. Like you just like you should have a smaller box. You should they're just shooting themselves in the foot at that point. Like it's just like blatantly horrible. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like, yeah, add some more pieces. Like make the box different. Like and make the window smaller. Like it's just like at that point it's just like, oh my god, like it's just silly. It's like even that sound wave. It's like his little leader in there in this huge gap. It just looks awkward and weird. Like visually, it's a visual, like it's not very like, you know, articulated, but visually, you know.
Well, and not only that, you're paying for every square inch of that box that's not being used.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like you pay for packaging. When you buy a toy, you're not buying just the toy, you're buying the packaging. So when a leader class can fit in a Voyager box, they could do that to help save costs, but they're not doing that. You know?
No.
And I think this kind of I've been preaching at that choir, right? I've been yelling at that, bearing that cross and yelling about their price increases for like 5 years, and no one, you know, seems like less and less people have are listening to it. But it's starting to when you go up by $8, now you're forcing people to listen to it. Now
that Voyager mark. Yeah, especially at that Voyager price, that's crazy. It's just like I said, I don't mind paying a little more here and there, but back in the day, like Transformers were so expensive, I couldn't afford them as a kid. Like I found we couldn't even afford them. So like I understand like different times and prices, but like at least like you got your value. The toys had metal in them, the toys were dense, the toys were heavy, they filled out the whole package, right? Like the marketing was there, you had a show, like a lot of entertainment, but now it's just like, you know, and then back then the figure was the figure basically. Yeah, there's repaints and this and that, but it was mostly for like, you know, story or another character, you know, they had to get their use of the mold. But now it's like, you know, they're just redoing the same one, even though I did see those new messages. I think what's his name had it on his show. Why am I spacing on his name right now? But
and they're using, and the thing is too, they're using excuses like when they did that Maximum Spider-Man, they're like, oh, it's a new mold, that's why it's $60. And it's like, every toy you produce is a new mold. For the last like 60 years of action figures, you've gotten your money out of the mold by reusing the mold, not by throwing a $70 whatever $60 price tag onto it and then saying it's quote unquote new, right? Especially when you're Hasbro and you're the fucking king of reused parts.
Hey, yeah, right? And then also, I know, it's totally. But the one good news I did see was like I think it was a Chris Jam. He had the video and he was doing getting those messages read out. That in 2020, what was it? 2020. If I could find it. 2020 after 2026 or whatever, 2026 the 86 line will be diminishing, right? So like they are going to stop doing, like, not obviously they're going to always do another Prime and Starscream and that, but it's going to be less and less, and they're going to try to focus on doing new characters and stuff that we've needed updates for in different lines, not G1. So if that does hold out and work, that'd be cool to see.
I mean, wasn't that supposed to be the whole thing with, like, you know, this modern day version of Generations, right? Like, it's supposed to be a restart, and that was like the excuse on why we're getting like a new Optimus Prime for Siege and Earthrise.
Right? I mean, they always do those because those characters always be there, but like, you know, it'd be nice just to see them not having to do another Wheeljack every while or another side swipe or like just little tiny tweaks every time. You'd be there to, like, you know, make a definitive as they can character, you know, and make, you know, remold, get something like that, but move on, you know what I mean? Like, that'd be cool to see if it actually happens, right?
And I mean, they flooded
the Japanese G1 stuff like that. Just different characters would be great.
They've flooded the market on every season 1 character possible, because every wave has a wheel jack in it. Every wave has some sort of version of Ironhide in it, like the adaptation of like the Siege mold or whatever. Again, Optimus Prime, a Seeker, like all the G1 season ones, they've just regurgitated. But if 2026, the end of 2026, as a multi-billion-dollar company, they could do it by like the end of 2025, because it takes them from roughly design to print roughly 2 years or so, depending on the figure to make, right?
Oh
They
yeah.
could do it. They could do adjustments.
Oh yeah.
You know?
For sure. But yeah, like it will be like, like whatever they have planned though for the last guys. But yeah, hopefully like people will support, like if they're into it and it's okay, like, hopefully, that they'll support new, like better things. If they make better things or new different characters, hopefully that will sell and they don't have to go back to making like, Hound and Ironhide over and over again.
Hopefully they get a design team that's worth a damn, or the design team that they have now pulls their heads out of their fucking collective asses.
Yeah. Some stuff I like, it's just all over the place though. There's such good ones and then such flops, and why, and
I can't get behind a group of people that attacks the fandom that they make products for, and they don't defend the fandom to their higher ups at all whatsoever, right? After that whole debacle with the Star Saber and Nemesis Prime, and Evan is all like, "Oh, it's user error. Figure it out, jerk off." And it's like, really? Figure it out? How about this? You're the design team. This is the first time that these guys have been done. And you're saying that it's user error. It's your job to figure out whether or not that user error is going to be there as the designer. Okay? If this is one of those cases where, oh, hey, it's designed by Takara, as people like to use as a defense mechanism, okay, then maybe somewhere down the line, Hasbro should rethink this partnership with Takara, or Evan just, I don't know, does his job as a designer and gets the product and calls old boy at Takara and says, hey, this slider might be a little too thin. Actually work together with your partner, not just be like, hey, can I copy your homework when you're done? Like, user error? No, designer error. Like,
yes, like I just weird to me. They probably just thought like, who's gonna transform that anyways?
Yeah. Oh, they're not gonna transform it. Just put it in a sword, put it on a shelf.
Yeah. If you're transforming that, it is your fault. No, but you know what I mean. It's just funny, but no. I know it's I know. I'm not touching mine. I have mine, but I'm not. I opened it, but I'm not transforming that sword.
But see, that's the problem. That's the problem. You bought a product that is supposed to transform, that is supposed to work in a designed way, and it doesn't, because when that's like that would be like driving your car and then all of a sudden it just stops on the freeway, and then people would just be like, well, at least I got 50 miles out of my brand new Hyundai.
Sure.
Well,
I get it. But I was just gonna say, for me, like I wouldn't have transformed it anyways, but just after hearing that, I'm like, I'm not touching it.
Right?
But I get it. I know it should be able to transform it, and then just how brutal it is shocking.
Yeah, and I think this will lead us into the influencers, right? Because I feel like this is a good segue to go into people that do not have your best interest in mind whenever they review something, and then they take money from a company just to give it like somewhat of a glowing review or whatever, and it's a bad product or whatever. Megatron 1984 G1 says, if it was user error, why is it so frequently over so many new figs? Omega Prime Star Saber, the new Brawn, is showing stress issues and breakage. Thank you.
It's just the plastics. Don't
Or
transform.
he meant brawl, not brawn.
Yeah, don't transform it. It'll be fine.
But yeah, and you know,
Yeah, the influencers, yeah, like
if you legitimately see somebody that reviews something and they have to, and this is one of the main reasons why YouTubers had to start publicly disclosing whether or not this was a product from a company, whether it's a car reviewer or whatever. Toys, automobiles, you know, playing cards, soda, whatever, is because a lot of these reviews were bought. So a lot of these companies would get glowing reviews for their product, and their product actually be shit. And the problem with that is, like, when you get somebody who's got 1.5 million subscribers, or in the case of like the Transformers fandom, you have somebody, you know, who I think the biggest person who is like 500,000 subscribers, right, on YouTube for Transformers, like in that ballpark, right? When you get people who have big followings in a certain fandom or community or whatever, that's my point, is that they become trusted, and these companies will give them Optimus Prime. We'll stay on Transformers topic, right? They'll give them an Optimus Prime. Basically they pay for the review to get this glowing review to get it out there, right? So if you see anybody who has given a review on a product, and the product, they say, oh, Hasbro sent me this, take that review and throw it in the trash. Because at that point in time, if the review is positive, you should be very skeptical. And if it's a negative review, that is probably the only time or the last time that person will get a product from the company. So I would only trust the review if it was a negative review of the product, and that would be it, which doesn't paint the product in a very good light, which it shouldn't if it's a bad product, right?
Yeah. Well, sure, because like even if they actually loved it, it's just you don't know, right?
Right, and that's what I'm getting at, is like you don't know if their feelings on the product is genuine or not, right? So you don't know if it's a genuine review. It's the same thing that's going on with Amazon reviews right now, right? Like everybody, you know, so many fake reviews on stuff because people are getting paid with gift cards, right?
Yeah. And
so
you missed it. Yeah.
And you just kind of scroll through, and like, say you want to buy a mattress. I don't know why you would, but let's say you buy a mattress off of Amazon, right? And you read a review, and it's something like, you know, the headlights turn on great. And it's like, what the hell? Like, you know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and the other thing too that's like all over the place is like, you know, then like it's good, like we've done it before, honest reviewers. We should almost do that for another show for us, but you know, like it sucks because yeah, like there's a lot of people that are new that actually do honest reviews, and like they're new starting out, and that's great. You know, you can kind of, especially if you watch the channel for a while, you can really tell if they're being genuine or authentic or not.
Yeah.
But then you also run into you know, new people that are just wanting to get the free stuff from Hasbro or any toy company. So they're just like a yes man without getting stuff for free, just in case they could get stuff for free. But you can kind of find those people, you know, beforehand, or you can kind of see that as if you've watched them enough, like, okay, this person is as genuine as I thought. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there just for the love of the fandom, for the love of the toys, and like, you know, they're really out there just trying to say if it is good or bad, and they want to love it, but sometimes it sucks. So
yeah,
you know,
and that's kind of an issue as well, right? Is because like so many people nowadays, like the people who are getting into it now, like reviewers, whatever, now, who just make a channel, or who are younger, like say like 25 on down or so, right? The way that they review something is the way that they have watched quote unquote reviewers review it, and they think that like that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Where somebody in my age bracket grew up when journalism actually meant something, when Car and Driver was an actual good magazine to figure out whether or not you want to purchase that Corvette, right? You could get like a trusted review from that stuff. So being honest in a review actually meant you were being honest with your opinion, not glazing the company that produced that product. So you get now on YouTube, I guess possibly third wave, maybe second wave. I don't know where that breakup is. I want to say third wave because of the age difference, but anyway. But you get so many people now in that third wave, for sake of argument, I'll say third wave reviewers now that think that, that's how it's done. And it's, like that's how you review a product. And that's not what a review is meant to do, right? Like, because I see so many times, I'll give an example where so many people will review something and say, oh, it's bad. It sucks. I don't really like it, but I think the logo on the chest is painted really well. So because of that, I'll give it like an 8 out of 10. And it's like, you didn't like it. You said it was a bad product and you still gave it an 8 out of 10. If it's a bad product, why are you giving it such a high score? Right? Like if you didn't like it, but you like the emblem on the chest, maybe you could go with like, say, a 5. Right? I don't know. I see that a lot, and that's bothersome because now your review is full of like mixed signals, right?
Yeah. I see that too. It's hard to, it really is hard to find, like, especially this who's being authentic, who isn't, and who really just is doing it for like, just their own, like just as a hobby on YouTube, right? Even if they get monetized like from their own thing, that's fine. But it's just hard to find people that are just doing it to do it, not just to get free stuff or manipulate it or, push, prices up. Like, like we said, the scalping, like that can lead into that too, because then people can manipulate prices or, oh, this, this figure is more rare, or hype this up, and then everyone freaks out to get it. Right.
Right.
So it plays all into each other, all three,
Oh yeah, all three of them do. And Megatron 84 G1 he said that's why I like Perspective In. If he thinks a figure sucks, he'll tell you. I 100% agree with that. He is very brutally, openly honest with how he feels about whatever's like coming out or whatever is like whatever he reviews or news or whatever. And from and like you were saying, like with scalpers and everything, right? Like this kind of goes with another
Off the trunk toys. Well, been like freaking forever. Yeah,
I think that the problem with scalpers now, I don't think the problem is scalpers anymore. I don't think that scalpers are a problem anymore because pre-orders now can be done, and there's problem with the pre-order thing as it stands right now. But there is a small amount of time, roughly a month to 2 months, depending on what figure it is or what box set or whatever that it may be, that you can find it for on eBay, reasonable amount of money, right? After about a year or so, you might look on eBay and someone's charging $200 for a $50 Voyager, and you laugh, and that's scalper or whatever. But that figure has been on eBay. That's part of like the eBay long game with these people, right? Is that they'll throw it up for 50 or $200 because they got it for 50, and they'll just hold off on a year because at a certain point they'll be the only one up there, and then people will be like, "Oh, hey, this figure is worth $200," and then now all of a sudden they're scalpers. I think the problem with scalping now are the companies themselves. Again, this goes back to what we're talking about when it comes to prices, where people would say, "Oh, it's only $1 or $2 more with We've seen Hasbro and Mattel, and mainly Hasbro, they'll re-release something, right?
Yeah.
And you can look on eBay and the figure goes for $100. And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, a year later, it's getting released. But it's not getting released at that $24.99 price tag. It's getting released at the new $27.99 price tag, right? But nothing extra is coming into this package. They've already paid for the mold. They've already paid for all of that stuff that goes into it. And now people will say, oh, well, it's better than spending $100 on eBay. Yeah, but these companies are now scalping you as well. They're ripping the piss out of the whole thing as well. And the argument, oh, it's just $3, or it's just an extra $5. And
well, I don't know. Over time, I'm okay with a slight increase. I don't care, but it's like especially like $1 or $2. But like, but like you said, like they are cannibalizing themselves. Like it's all, they see what people are doing on eBay now too. Like, and they're taking that into a fact. Like, man, they okay, they're getting this. We're gonna charge more too, right? Like, it's just it's all greed at the end of the day. I mean, it's corporation and it is all that, but it's just it sucks, but like it all feeds into each other. And they are like Hasbro stopping some of the scalping, or the people aren't scalping as much. I noticed too, like not everything like they used to, because they can't get as much for it because the prices are going so high, and then people aren't buying it anyways. These scalpers lose money, and then
well, the reason why I bring up the company doing it and why I'm not okay with the company doing it is because when somebody on eBay, say the figure's $25 and they throw it up for 30 on eBay, and they're just basically getting their money back, people will lose their mind. They will be like, oh, that dude's a piece of shit. He's a scalper. He's this and blah, 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 right? But these same people that when the company does it will turn around and be like, oh, guys, it's only like $2 or $3. Like, what does it matter? At least it's not 100 on eBay. You're not buying it from blah, 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 Like, you can't have that both ways. You have your morals and you got to stand on them. It doesn't matter, right? We live in a society now where people and individuals will gladly glaze this company, any company or whatever, just for the sake of the individual getting roasted, and it really should be the reverse of that. It really should be the entire fandom going, no, I'm not going to buy that figure. I'm not going to buy any more Voyagers because you guys jacked up the price by $8. I don't give a crap if my new Bruticus isn't completed. I'll just wait until I find it at a convention in a few years or whatever,
Yeah.
But let's see. Oh, Megatron said the company doing it is worse. The company doesn't have to give eBay a percentage of the sale. There you go. And Hasbro proves that point as well, because they have their Hasbro Toy Shop is their eBay page. And whatever the retail is on the figures at like Target and stuff like that is the same price on there, or at least it was whenever the figure releases, it's the same price on eBay as it would be retail wise. So they're okay with losing like $2 or $3 to eBay, but they're not okay losing $2 or $3 to the consumer, right? Same thing with Hasbro Pulse. Hasbro Pulse should be cheaper than, and I'm not talking like $10. A deluxe should be $10 or something like that.
Yeah.
The figures should be $3 to $4 cheaper because when I worked at a toy store here in town and I was making those Hasbro orders, I had to buy because of the size of the store is a smaller store. Hasbro gave us a number that we were allowed to order, and the figures they would charge us, if a figure was $25, they would charge us $23. Right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they always do
So
that.
if a customer is ordering directly from Hasbro, there's no excuse for them not to charge the $22 or $23, whatever it was, to that customer that they would charge me to put it out at 25 or 27 or whatever, right?
Yeah, well, that's why, because the store's only making like $3 off these Marvel Legends and stuff. Right?
And how much is Hasbro making off of
A lot.
Transformers and all that stuff? G.I. Joe.
Yeah, a lot, but
Right.
yeah, it's tough. Especially, like I said, I still like a lot of it. It's just, we'll see where it goes. It's just hard to know where it's all going right now.
It's an interesting thing that when one of the Ryan from the Marvel Legends team does a podcast, and they just, specifically ask him why the price hikes happen, and he says it boils down, it's 100% corporate greed. He openly says it.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, it's true. It's like capitalist stuff. Like they know they can, like, everything does that. They always rake people for as much as they can get, right?
But it's interesting to me that there was no pushback on that. Like pushback on Hasbro, not Ryan.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they know it's probably in their documents. Like, it is what it is. Like, business is like, they're gonna push you to your limits until you break, right? And then they like reform or do something. But it's just, they just keep pushing and pushing, get every dollar they can, right?
Yeah,
which is sad.
So you have to ask yourself, and this is a personal thing, because you have to ask yourself, when is enough enough? Like I said, are you going to buy an $8 Voyager to complete your Bruticus? Because every time you buy something like that, it tells the company it's okay. But the company, in turn, does it on purpose to make you tell them it's okay.
Yeah,
right?
I get it. Yeah.
They throw out like 2 pieces of Bruticus at $25, and then now it's 27, or now it's 55, or now it's this or that, right? So you can complete it. Yeah. At a certain point, when do you say, I don't care if Bruticus is complete?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Not me. I like, yeah, I'll give them it. It just depends. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough because I still, like, I love it. Like, there's so much I love about it. It's just, yeah, like, it's hard to know. Like, it's just the new stuff too, right? Like, I still love always collecting. Could buy older stuff for whatever price, and but it's just, yeah, it's just, some of it's really cool. I like it now, but it's just, yeah, the prices, they just keep pushing people to this level, and like I said, it's just weird. We'll see. Like, I just don't know where it's all going to go a year or two from now, right?
Well, we'll see what happens, and that's really, there's that old saying, and it's very true. Only time can tell.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at a certain point, we're going to start seeing, people, I don't want to say the bubble will burst, but, at a certain point, there's going to come, they're going to have hell to pay, so to speak, right? Like, retribution is going to be coming soon. Because it's not a sustainable market. And I've always said, and you've said this before in your own way, but we've both kind of always said that you can sell more at cheaper prices. And one person who buys a $30 figure that should be roughly $15, right? That's it. They're walking away. They bought that one product, and that's it. There's a reason why people don't go into like Target and stuff like that, Walmart, whatever, because they can't find anything. Because Target and Walmart, they're not ordering as much because it's too expensive. They're not going to go and spend $30 on a figure. But they'll go out and spend 20. They'll buy an entire case at $20. They'll buy 2 figures at 30.
Yeah, like I said, it's weird because, like I said before, like, I know sometimes I'd spend the exact same amount of money, but I got more for it, and it felt
Right.
like more enjoyable because I didn't just get 2 Voyagers for 100. I got like 2 Voyagers and like 3 Deluxes, and like I said, like it's the funness of going to the store. It was the funness of seeing it in the store. Like even if you can't get out and you have to get it online, it was still you got more for what you got, and it was fun of getting that package, opening it up. Like I said, sharing the experience with someone, like enjoying the toys that night, that time. Like it's just there's a lot of enjoyment from it, and that's what I mean. We used to love this hobby because of all the fun parts and the and it used to be cheap. Like you could go to the store and get a couple figures for 8, 16, 12, $14, different prices here, and there, but it was just an enjoyable, fun, affordable hobby.
Right.
Like so many
And
aspects of it. It wasn't just the toy, it was like the rituals, but now it's like holy crap, it's like might as well be shooting up because like it's getting like expensive, man.
yeah, I mean that used to kind of be the retort, right? Like, why do you spend so much money on this? I could spend more money on drugs. Like that was always, at least it's not, crack or whatever. Like that was always some sort of retort.
Now you'd probably be better off. Yeah, it's sad. Like it's just.
I mean, the excuse of everything is expensive is not an excuse. That is everyone who says that is becoming complacent with what's happening.
Yeah.
Megatron says, think about it. If you buy a deluxe and a Voyager together, you're paying $10 to $12 more. That's almost half the price of another deluxe.
Yeah, like I said, 2 Voyagers now in Canada is over $100, and before you could get like 2 Voyagers and a couple Deluxes or Deluxe or whatever. So, and like I said, it's just you felt like some people would still spend what they're spending now, but you got more for your dollar, and it felt better. You could pick up a whole wave for a certain amount. Now you can only get like partial wave, 3/4 to a half.
Yeah, exactly. I saw at Target they had this morning. They had Commander class Silverbolt, and he was marked from 89.99, I think. He was marked from 90 to 75. And I was like, this is kind of telling that like people like this isn't as the internet makes everything louder than what it really is, right? And and it doesn't matter whether it's toys, it's politics, it's car, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. The social media will make everything louder than what it really is. The majority of people are not buying these figures at the inflated price. Only really the fandom is. And when you're doing that, you're limiting your sales to people that would be interested in that Silverbolt. I'll say that as a kid, that Silverbolt would have been a godsend to me. He's got like he's got like the barricade with the guns on it, all that stuff. And it's a jet, like that
was a great idea, man. The toy has playability even by itself. Like you don't need all the pieces. Still build the skeleton, still build the barricade, like you said. Like there's so much playability there. It's amazing. It's that design is pretty decent.
Yeah,
for what it is.
But my mom would no way in hell would have bought that thing for me at $90. No way in hell. She would have looked at it at 75 and then been like, maybe for your birthday or Christmas or something like that.
Depending, like especially 90s, like G2 era, my family couldn't afford it, but Beast Wars they might have, but like it would have been like, like you better shut up.
Yeah.
Next month. Don't tell me about your issues.
It's always been the casual market that surpluses the company's funds. Always. It always has been, always will be. When you look at automotive, if Honda only made Type R stuff, they'd go bankrupt, right? It's the reason why Porsche sells SUVs and not just the 911. It's the casuals that print the money for you, not the diehards of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But Danny, what do you got for him to close it out with? You got anything?
Yeah, I know. It's just like, it's weird. Like you just said there too, just on that, like, you know, it's weird because, like, you know, with the brand in general, like Trends Will Never Die, it could be like a video game, it could be virtual, whatever. But, you know, like the physical toy era after we're gone too, it's like, you know, it's just like it's decreasing. So like to limit who's buying toys, it just doesn't seem good for business. I mean, it's just all short-term game now, anyways, right now. But, you know, in the long run, you'd think they'd want to open it up. So, you know, toy and the imagination could live on. But yeah, it's so nice to be able to do this again with you. It was actually good, you know, like it's good to be back with the State of the Transformers fandom, and yeah, and just exciting. Nice to rant and rave, and yeah.
Yeah, I love doing this show with you, Danny, and I love you know, getting people's feedback, whether, you know, it's a similar opinion or different opinion, or
Yeah,
whatever the case may be. That's
why
what
we're
we
here.
do
It's
for.
just, you know, it's just our opinions. It's just our view. It's nothing. Don't take it personal. Don't get upset if you don't have the same one. Our opinions change every day. We're open minded, but it's just like, you know what I mean. We're just here to we're just here to talk about the fandom and give honest, you know, takes, because there's not that many people out there that are, you know, that are doing that, or like, you know, like we're just here to have fun and, you know, rant and rave.
And we did do some honest reviewers. So if you guys want to hark back to what we were saying at the beginning of this podcast and go check out our honest reviewer episode, we've done 2 of them of reviewers that you might want to check out because they are honest reviewers. And the 2 off the top of my head will always be Bobby Skullface and Gotbot. Dennis Moulton, aka Gotbot. And yeah, Dan, you got any words of encouragement? Some good positive vibes you want to throw out there to the people?
Not too much. I'm not sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm just spacing, but yeah, no, I don't know. Just keep collecting. It's like affordability, but yeah, always eat first and pay your bills and whatever money you left over.
Positive. It's got to be positive. It's got to be uplifting. Don't tell people to eat. Like, yeah, no shit. They got to eat, Danny. Like,
yeah, eat. Remember to eat. Remember to drink.
Pay your water bill, folks.
Pay water bill, and then play with your toys. Make sure you inject your face with as much plastic as you can. But yeah, yeah, enjoy the hobby. We're here. We'll see you soon, and yeah, stay safe, stay strong, stay positive, and yeah, we'll catch you in the next one, y'all.
Thank you for joining us. It has been a pleasure. However, we must now conclude the program. We appreciate your viewership and apologize should we have inadvertently disrupted your evening. Please do not take any offense. We look forward to presenting another engaging topic next week, and we extend our gratitude for your continued support.